Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Friday class. Last class, we read the Murli about spiritual intelligence. We read the Murli from 2nd of December, 1985. Baba said, spiritual power is the way to become free from bondages. Every day, all children call themselves as spiritual children. Spirituality of Brahmin life is spirituality Bap Dada. Sorry, specialty of Brahmin life is spirituality Bap Dada is seeing that there are still some subtle bondages. We also learned thoughts, words, and actions should be same. Souls who are tied by bondages continue to move along in Brahmin life for a short time on the basis of some service. So we have to be same in all our thoughts, words, and actions. And spiritual power is the way which is free from bondages. I would like to invite all my fellow learners to share how they've felt something special that they've experienced during the past week.
There is
Um,
some there is some realization that the time of the Sangam Yug at present is only given for Brahmins. This is the special time. Actually, the drama is going on uh, at its pace. It just a realization was that the work whatever happening in the drama, whether any activity for growth development, it is only just a script is given to everyone, but actual productive work is going on here. uh, the main work is going on here, and to complete for completion of this work, the time is given in drama to everyone to do something or busy in something. uh, Maybe I am clear. uh, uh, Means that this is the time only for purusharth and for transformation. This is the actual work which is going on, satkarma or sukarma. Other work is just for giving the time to souls to complete their work. The Baba has given, or Baba is uh, uh, helping us in doing this. Other activities going on in the drama is just to for time pass. I just realized this. Thank you.
Thank you. Um, okay, thank you.
Well, practice that I've been doing for the past week that I think is helping me. Like whenever the mind wanders, I'm just using this for, affirmations like who am I? Who do I belong to? Where I have come from? What I have to do? So constantly, reciting this helps me get rid of all the thoughts and helps me focuses on the observer part. And when the observer part increases, immediately the याद की यात्रा also increases. So it's like helping. याद बढ़ता है तो observer बढ़ता है, observer बढ़ता है तो याद भी बढ़ता है. Thank you.
Thank you.
What I have a realization this week is that the word change is not very appropriate to use for us at this point of time, because future is always unfolding. So we can't use the word. We don't know from what we are changing and into what we are changing. That is one factor. The second factor which I felt is that there is absolutely no need to take anything from this Ravan's kingdom, because as relating to the parable of some blind men trying to describe an elephant. the act we don't know what we are trying to understand about a person may not be the full 100% full perspective. It's a narrow perspective through which we are judging others and ourselves by ignoring the whole. So these are the two things which I felt this week. There is no point in grading change because we don't know what we are changing into. And second point is that we cannot just blindly take others' judgment. Neither can we judge ourselves.
Thank you, Om Shanti. Yes, Ketkiji, would you like to share something?
Yeah. Yeah. So in last week, the realization is like when you think the box is zero, automatically everything has become very light. You start giving very less importance, and yeah, that zero thinking the box is zero has got zero value has made a lot of change in your attitude and the approach and everything. The whole things change when it is zero. Which it's okay kind of an attitude. Thank you.
Thank you.
Since we are not taking neither praise nor defamation from this Ravan's kingdom, eventually by realization was that this role itself has no value. When the role is not given value, automatically all the problems related to the soul, all the problems related to the role, and all the people related to the role, everything loses its intensity. You feel relaxed when you think about this.
Thank you, Om Shanti. I would like to invite Sister now, and we can proceed with the class. Thank you.
Hello, good evening. Very nice to hear all the reflections and very nice to connect. Next few minutes, we'll take the opportunity to see the two contrasting realities. One is the paper world, where all the dolls are like paper. They are temporary and artificial. And from this world of paper, whole world where it is full of dangers and everything is so fragile. Anything can happen anytime. It is like a storybook. And the whole storybook is on a paper. One side is the story, and the other side is the world of invisible, immortal beings. This is a wonderland. All are lovely here. All the residents of this wonderland, they are like presence. It is these invisible presence who have discovered this wonderland beyond the storybook, and now they can go into the story but without getting trapped by anything of the story. They have discovered their home, their family. They have discovered accurate remembrance, accurate knowledge. And with all these discoveries, nothing can harm them. And anything in the story, whenever they are associated with the story, they are trustees, they're trustees of everything, of the body, the physical things, trustee of actions, ideas. They know nothing in that story belongs to them. They have no rights in the story. Any situation or problem in the story is like a little fun situation. It is like little entertainment. The highs and lows in the story, they are all variety experiences, entertainment. And it is an entertainment only because the invisible presence, he has discovered his world and accuracy. Now, with this accuracy, he is not deceived or trapped by the story. His life is free from bondages. He himself, his world is ignorant to the word bondage. His friend is the supreme friend, invisible presence. And he is the ocean of everything that is positive and good. And so, being in the company of this friend, we maintain the master ocean state. Inner life where everything is good and positive. The Supreme Friend is here to guide us to this art of spiritual fun, spiritual intoxication. And whoever learns this art of spiritual intoxication the absolute precondition to learn this art is to use the spiritual sight, spiritual vision. And in this spiritual vision, the value of story is zero. It has to be brought to a zero. There's a paper show, doll show. As we are on the journey to learn this highest art, precondition is paras intellect, and keeping the company of truth, company of falsehood, which is the story, and company of anything that is physical, keeps us away from this spiritual fun and spiritual intoxicated life. It blocks the wonderland. Even for the next few minutes, next 1 hour, we keep this attention as the interaction and the story goes on. Still, attention in the region of immortality and light. Invisible witness is watching all these interactions for the next 1 hour. Thank you. And so it was nice to hear some of the reflections, but we want to hear from some more experiences. What are some of the realizations in the last 1 week? What has been something that has been important to you and something that has been relevant to you in your journey? So who would like to share?
Om Shanti. So,
Hello.
hello. I've been following one thing past few days and focusing on one step at a time. So, just the right next step. What would be the right, as we talked about this in the class as well, about the horse and that story. So what would be the right step for the character in this one moment, and not thinking about too much about further down the line, and just one step at a time, and it brings the consciousness back even when the pull is there of the old sanskar of when the Ravan is trying to fight. So it really helps to just think about what would be the feeling of Ram at that moment, what would be the thought of Ram at that moment, and just one thought at a time, and then it brings the consciousness back of the actor. So this is helping. This helps. Just wanted to share this. Yeah.
Nice. Thank you. Thanks. And what else? What else has been important, relevant?
Om Shanti. Uh, uh, the relevant and the important point was noted and was con- consciously making effort is to holding that home feeling. Because yeah, the things was just pulling it, and the holding word was there, and constantly working. I have to hold that place, hold the home. So yeah, I that was important for the last week, holding the home feeling. And the boxes zero had made has helped a lot to hold that home feeling.
So, what was the last line of the Murli that we were reading? If anyone remembers, where did we stop? Hmm. Yes, so this was, yeah, maybe a few lines will be repetition, but it is worth repeating them. So I will just repeat the last passage and then we move to the next few sentences. And this is on spiritual power. Baba is emphasizing power, spiritual sight is working if there is spiritual power, and sign of spiritual sight, divine powers, or spiritual power working is how the soul is becoming independent, means free from bondages. And all these bondages are a creation of the soul. The unconscious soul creates bondages, and all these bondages now have to be this is the time to undo these bondages. So there it is a very clear life, very clear mission. So the souls who are tied by these subtle bondages continue to move along in this Brahmin life for a short time on the basis of some service, the power of a gathering, one attainment or another, or some elevated company. And for as long as they have these means, they are able to experience happiness and joy. However, when the means finishes or is removed, their happiness also finishes. It doesn't stay constant. Sometimes they would dance in such happiness that at that time there is no one like them. However, when they come to a standstill, even a tiny stone will be experienced as a mountain. Because of not having their original power, they dance in happiness on the basis of those means. Once the means are removed, where would they dance? This is why internal spiritual power in all three forms simultaneously is always essential. The main bondage is that they have no controlling power over the thoughts in their minds. So the main bondage is to have no controlling power over the thoughts in their minds because of being influenced by your own thoughts. You experience yourself to be influenced by others. So should we listen? Should we entertain our own thoughts, our own thinking? Can we listen to our own thoughts?
Our thoughts, yes, but not the character's thoughts, not the
Yeah.
role's thoughts.
Mhm. Yes. So yeah, and when right now souls are body conscious, role conscious, and so the thoughts in the mind are mind is controlled by the role, and the roles are controlled by Ravan, because this is Ravan's kingdom. So roles are also under the influence of Ravan, and then that leader is using the mind. So Manmat, dictates of our own mind. We cannot go into we cannot stay on the right track by listening to our own mind. And own mind here is the dominant mind. Dominant mind is used by Ravan. That is the dominant mind. The angelic mind, the mind of the soul, it is not dominant. I mean, everyone has to check, for themselves. It might be dominant for someone else, but with honest checking, the realization is Ravan using the mind is a dominant factor. And so listening to that mind will brings us, you experience yourself to be influenced by others, because others are also influenced, are being influenced by Ravan. So when I listen to my own mind, which is the role conscious, which is Maya. Maya, the lawyer is creating thoughts to protect all the false identities, or just protect and waste time, not come into the experience, but be busy in the anthill, busy in the doll show. So that is Maya's intelligence, and it is using the mind. And then you also become influenced by others, which means by Ravan. If the soul is in the company of truth, then you also get good company here, and you don't need good company as such. Baba's company is the highest, but you get good company here, and most importantly, you bring others into good company. You create the right company for others. So those who are in bondage of their own thoughts, what is the sign? So we are talking about, manmat, mind. So if those who don't have the murli in front of them, what would be the sign when the soul is influenced by its own mind, which is the mind used by Ravan, dominant mind? What is the sign? If
Sorrow.
I am, yeah, sorrow. Who said sorrow?
Just something.
This one. Yeah, yeah, thanks.
Uh, will feel a lack, incomplete.
Hmm.
No contentment.
Okay.
Too many
Mhm.
thoughts.
Yeah. So too many thoughts, you know. So those who are in bondage to their own thoughts remain busy with this for a long time. So you cannot get out of those thoughts. When Ravan is using the mind, we see that we are thinking about it for a long time, but still the thinking continues. Yeah, it is as if we are not able, even if the um, solution is clear now, everything is clear, but still the thoughts are in that direction. It is as if when Ravan is using the mind, there is no concept of full stop. It is only comma and question mark. There is no concept of full stop, move on to a different subject. But even if you get the solution, even if everything is clear, it continues. So when Ravan is using the mind, then we are seeing this whole pattern influenced by Ravan, and then busy in that direction, not being able to put a full stop because Ravan is senseless. You know, it is only when there is sense that you can stop. If it is, there is no break. Someone who is senseless, Ravan is a driver who has just acceleration. No putting brakes, which is very important when for a driver to be able to stop when you need to stop. So Ravan is like that, no stopping. And this is the most important power. That is why conquering Maya, conquering Ravan is Jagat Jeet. Maya Jeete Jagat Jeet. This is the main sign of spiritual power to main bondage. Main power is to win over the main bondage, and main bondage is with mind used by Ravan, main bondage. You also speak of building castles in the air. You build castles and then you demolish them. You put up a big wall. This is why it is called a castle in the air. Just as one, just as on the path of devotion, they worship idols, decorate them, and then sink them. In the same way, souls who are tied in bondage to their thoughts build many things, and then they also spoil many of those things. They build many things and then they also spoil many things. That is why this story, very relevant, of getting the first few steps right, learning the using concentration and thoughts in truth, mind used for truth. Initially there is some resistance each time. However, if persisted with as a hobby, playfully, we keep bringing in concentration. We introduce truth in the mind, taking the jump using the mind. One who keeps introducing that, with that being successful in this area brings success at all levels, at the level of sanskars, at the level of habits, many things change. So it is starting right, starting this is the main bondage, biggest bondage. It is the most challenging one. And getting success here naturally brings success at many levels that we might be wanting or aiming for but have had no success, it will automatically be successful. So they get tired of that wasteful task and also get disheartened. So it is a whole chain. Someone might like to create a flowchart of this, understand this spiral, downward spiral from this whole passage. Main bondage, Ravan using the mind, role conscious, and what happens next, then what happens next. So it is a spiral. It is good to create this spiral, understand the consequences, and to keep that spiral in front of us. So someone might like to create a spiral, downward spiral, and then we also can get a very clear picture of the upward spiral. If the mind is conquered, then how does it look like? There is full stop. You can whatever you don't want to think about, you don't need to think about it. It's a different spiral altogether. No building castles in the air, no getting disheartened. So it is a happy mind. So they get tired of that wasteful task and also get disheartened. Sometimes, out of arrogance, they blame others for their own mistake. Then, when that time has passed by, they understand and realize that what they did was not right. But because of being influenced by arrogance, in order to justify themselves, they blame others. The biggest bondage is this bondage of the mind. Why? So we are understanding this is the main bondage. But why is this the main bondage? First, those who are not reading the movie, why this is the main bondage?
दीदी प्लीज हिंदी में बोलिए ना।
Hindi on Sunday, Friday English.
सॉरी सॉरी मुझे याद नहीं रहा, मैं वही सोच रही कि आज दीदी इतना इंग्लिश में क्यों बोल रहे हैं। हाँ आज इंग्लिश में ही रहता है प्लीज।
Yeah.
Because mind is a stage, and all performance goes there.
Yes, yes. For more hint. So, what is most important for a spiritual effort maker? What is the most important thing? One word.
The
For a
starting point.
drama.
Yeah, the main the starting point. Mane, your your smruti from where you are doing.
Yeah. Still, one word.
Interest in the sky.
Mhm. Even before that, even before interest in the sky, starting position, what is the most important?
Sharp intellect, tool.
Yeah, intellect. Intellect is the most important, only important. We shouldn't even say most important. Intellect is the only thing for only important aspect for an effort maker. And this main bondage blocks the intellect. So what is most important is now blocked. Now, no matter what is done, externally, no matter how busy you are, how many seva and how many tolis you make, it is now the main thing, the only thing, which is what makes the which is what makes our life. We say we are a different life. The world is different. They are in the old world. We are not in Kali Yuga. We are in confluence age. It is because of the intellect. We are in the same world. Confluence age is not in a different. It is in the same doll show. It is in the same. Everything is the same stage. But what makes you come to confluence age is the intellect. So if the intellect remains locked, then it is all zero. Yeah, it is. We take this very lightly. Because Ravan in us takes this very lightly. Ravan will convince you till the last second that no, at least do this outside, at least do this outside, at least even with a locked intellect, but at least say yes to this. At least I'm doing this. So Ravan will completely be light about this because he loves when the intellect is locked. That is his most favorable environment to get bigger. Locked intellect is the one requirement for Ravan. And one requirement of Ram is for the intellect to stay unlocked. So it is like Ravan and Ram, they are each other's enemies. So one likes what other dislikes completely. So Ram can only be not in a little bit unlocked intellect. It has to be fully unlocked. So an open intellect, broad intellect. It is not limited, it is unlimited, broad intellect. That favors the soul and Ram. And completely opposite is the current situation. Bondage with the mind locks the intellect. Now you can tell yourself, Ravan will tell you, very nice BK life, but it is all zero. Such a big, important thing to understand, which Ravan will deny. Ravan will say no. Even if the intellect is locked, life is BK life, and at least I'm doing this, doing that. But it will never admit, completely denial, because it's a different psychology. Once someone understands the importance of intellect in on the spiritual effort making, if someone has truly understood the importance of intellect, then they have a different psychology. If they haven't understood the intellect, then it is a Ravan psychology. Ravan psychology is made, it is a psychology built to keep the soul lead a life of a slave. And Ravan, it does not come with a first step. He is not. He's not. It doesn't appear to be angry or some loud personality. You know? Ravan, like Asuri life, demonic life, is not where as how most people sometimes understand that Ravan is very easy, very very easygoing. Easygoing is not the quality of Ram, It is, but Ravan can also Ravan can imitate every quality of Ram, every quality of the soul, but in a very displaced manner. So you will find Asuri, Shudra sort of souls who are in the Shudra phase, Asuri phase, very easygoing. Yes to everything. But yes to what? Yes to the standards and the everything of Ravan. So any food item, any this, that, they're not picky, they're not choosy. Ravan is very easygoing until you tell him to die. You as soon as you tell Ravan to die, or you say, I don't want this false identity, that's when you trigger the monster. Till you are feeding the monster, it is the most easygoing, nice monster. It is very nice. It will not even appear that he has anger. So it is, we have to really understand Ravan and intellect. And the more we understand power of intellect, we will understand Ravan and we understand Baba. So it is not that Ravan from the first second is angry, lustful, and more. That is all there. But if you put Ravan in an environment where he's getting all of that already, you will not see anger. Whatever Ravan wants, we are giving more and more of that without him even wanting to demand. We gave more food to Ravan, more chocolate, more this, that. It is all favorable environment for Ravan. But unless you stop all that supply, you will not see the real monster. So monster is not monster from the first second. It is like a golden deer. It is only after you get attracted to that golden deer, you want to feed him, you want to give him something, you start to use your mind. You want some, you are making decisions. That's when the Ravan monster tells you, you have no choice. I am the monster. I will rule your life. You don't make any decisions. As long as you're listening to the monster, you're giving him everything. He doesn't need to get, crazy. So he comes into the crazy mode, madness, once you oppose. You know? Currently, the whole world is in demonic phase. It is not that they're fighting every day. They wake up, they start fighting. No, life is sleep, eat, eat more and more, watch movie, eat this variety, all the varieties of ramen that he likes, they all exist. Lust is there, everything. So life continues. But the second you deny no, Ravan doesn't like no. So then he becomes a monster. Very easygoing. Ravan is extremely easygoing until you come into his territory and then you'll see the monster. So the biggest bondage is this bondage of the mind, which locks the intellect. So no matter how much you try to explain to them, they are just not able to understand the special sign of being in bondage. Again, yeah, new sign. So one sign, what was the previous sign of being in bondage? Bondage of the mind. This is the second sign. What was the first sign?
Intellect being locked.
Yeah. Yeah. What is the first sign?
Intellect being locked.
Taking easy, taking things easy.
No.
Kind
What was in the Murli? What was in the
too,
Murli?
too many thoughts.
Wasteful
No,
Too
talk.
many
not
thoughts.
Full
Yes.
stop.
Yes. Yes. Who said too many thoughts?
yeah,
Yeah.
this row.
Seema. Mhm. Yes. So this first sign of being in the bondage of mind is not being able to put a full stop, busy with the same thoughts. That is the first sign. They've already crossed the line, but if you catch yourself in the first, with this first sign, you are able to get yourself out. Then the second sign is, what is the second sign? What else? A few more signs Baba gave in between.
Tired and
building, yeah, disheartened because thoughts are building many castles in the air, then it spoils them. So creating scenarios, assuming that all happens, and then get disheartened, then blaming for their own mistake. There is arrogance. So this is the third sign. Many signs Baba has given. So in order to justify, they blame others. Yeah, and there is, the one word that it is a drama. It puts end to all our blame because it's a drama. No matter how we understand fairness and justice and morality, but a drama is a drama. Drama is not saying that everything will be moral. There is values, and that is not how drama is. So these are many signs, and then we see that the intellect is locked. Practical sign of the intellect is locked. What is the practical sign? We don't this is biggest bondage is the bondage of the mind which locks the intellect. Now, how to know practically intellect is locked? What is the sign? So this is the sign, special sign Baba is talking about of being in bondage, and intellect is locked. One is in the bondage of the mind. What is a practical sign?
Drama becomes real.
Yes. Yes. What else? How does
Questions
that? Mhm.
why, when, how.
Mhm.
You take sorrow and give sorrow.
Yes. Rupali, are you saying something? Yeah. Sign is,
Wrong karma.
yeah. Wrong karma comes later, much
Okay.
later. First wrong karma at the level of inner life. External wrong karma comes later, but it starts here. The power of realization finishes.
Yeah.
So, because there is full denial, Ravan means full denial, full senselessness. So, full denial comes with uh, full ignorance, and full ignorance is there is no power of realization. There's no realization, basically. So, this is why, without finishing the subtle bondage, the essence of the whole life is that without finishing this subtle bondage, you are unable to experience inner happiness or supersensuous joy for all time. Sada Khushi, Sada Anand can never be achieved without finishing this subtle bondage. That is why Baba's favorite word is Sada. He always asks, is this Sada? Is it all the time? Because Sada is possible only when this subtle bondage, mind has been conquered. Mind conquered means mind is out of Ravan's leadership. Sada is not possible without that. And everything that we do in this life, it is um, it is for this Sada coming out of the bondage of the mind. That is spiritual. Spiritual life means breaking free from this subtle bondage. That is spiritual life. Ravan's understanding of a spiritual life is very superficial, extremely superficial, extremely uh, locking, like extremely like any locking office you go to, and their like understanding of success, achievements. That is Ravan's understanding of spiritual life as well. But the one who is seeing through the lens of Ram, spiritual life, they understand spiritual life is to finish the bondage with the mind. That is the spiritual life. Otherwise, there is no spiritual life, and it is not even spiritual power. Yeah? And no matter what we do, if this subtle bondage is there, it is not a spiritual life. It is Ravan's life, because Ravan is using the mind. Ravan's powers are using the mind. So it is Ravan's life. Sita is a slave of Ravan. We understand, no? This is understood, right? Hmm? The speciality of the confluence age. What is the speciality of confluence age?
Joy and happiness.
Hmm. Yes.
Company
Is
of
of
truth.
yeah. Where there is truth, there is happiness. Truth is there, practical level, there is happiness. So the speciality of the confluence age is of swinging in the swing of supersensuous joy and dancing constantly in happiness. There is truth. Ravan is not using the mind. The mercury of happiness is rising all the time. So, what can be said if after becoming confluenced aged, if after becoming a BK, after becoming a Brahmin, you do not experience this speciality? What will be said? We say we are on confluence age. We are not in Kali. We are in Sangam Yug. We are BK, we are Brahmin. And so what's the speciality of Brahmin, of BK, of confluence age? What is the speciality?
We know the truth now.
No, that is not the speciality.
Happiness
Knowing,
always.
yeah,
Upward
yeah,
spiral.
yes. Life of inner happiness, inner fun, inner inner joy. That is the speciality. If that speciality is not there, then is it confluence aged life? I have to be
No.
very, very clear about it. Yeah? I have to be very extremely clear about it. If it is not a confluence aged life, then which life is it? What is the life?
Kali,
Kali.
Kali is the
Kaliyug,
Kali,
Kaliyug.
Yeah.
Shudras.
Yeah, life. Yeah, life with Ravan. Ravan, that is the life. Slave, life of a slave, which is a Shudra, Asuri life. And what is the way to come out of that life?
High jump.
Yeah, Anjan?
Same, I think, intellect, remembering
Using Paris intellect.
Parak intellect.
What else?
Realization.
Conquering Ravan.
Yeah. Yes. It is breaking free from the subtle bondage. Mind. Mind not to be used by Ravan. Thoughts not to be used by Ravan. That is the way. And it is not just with 1 second high jump. It is not just with 1 second of high jump, but constantly checking thoughts to not favor Ravan. So what can be said if after becoming confluenced aged, you do not experience this speciality? Check yourself to see that you are not in any type of bondage of thoughts. So yeah, who has made a list of what sort of bondage of thoughts or what type of bondage of thoughts are still there, if there are any within you? What type of thoughts? Anyone who has made this list?
Making Didi continuously new things, they keep on showing up.
Mhm. Anyone else has ever made this list?
What
Not a
Baba
list.
says, the
Sorry,
body,
go
the
ahead.
mind, the mind, the wealth, the people, the weaknesses, the relations.
Yeah. Yes, Akshay, what were you saying?
I've noticed that repeating thoughts, like what repeating certain instances, that replaying them in the mind. So that's also a pattern which has been built. Yeah.
So we have to check what all type of repeating thoughts exist. What are the which areas? Most of the time, what sort of thoughts am I thinking? Just check the last 24 hours, and it is the same every day. It is the same. Yeah. So just look at any 24 hours, who and what comes in the mind. Those are the bondages. But mainly the bondage is with the mind. And so we have to shift completely. The host who uses the mind has to be shifted completely, and not slowly, but immediately. It is like very urgent, changing the host of the mind. So first check whether it is a bondage of waste thoughts, a bondage of thoughts of jealousy or conflict, thoughts of carelessness or laziness. Any of these types of thought is a sign of bondage in the mind. So today, Bapdada was seeing the bondages. How many of you are liberated souls? Liberated souls are in confluence age. They are living the life of confluence age. So big ropes have now ended. There are now these subtle threads. They are thin, but they are clever in tying you in bondage. You are not even aware that you are being tied in bondage, because these bondages also make you intoxicated for a temporary period. Those who have perishable intoxication never think of themselves as low. They would be in a gutter and think that they are in a palace. So Ravan, this is how Ravan is, because it is full denial, full. Everything is displaced. Everything is very uh, distorted. He is leading a Sita is leading a life of a slave. It is in a gutter, but it will think that it is a very good life, better than before. I have such a good life, but it is the same life, and maybe even bigger Ravan, bigger monster, more slavery, and it thinks it is in a palace because it is giving everything to the monster, and there is no problem. Yeah, you are giving everything to the monster, and you think it is love, it is a nice life, contented. The minute, the second you withdraw, whatever the Ravan is saying, you don't give it, you don't serve Ravan, then there is always, it is going to come with a chaos, conflict. And that is when we need tolerance. Yeah? If we've got the destination right, then we also know the journey. So obviously, if you don't feed or serve expectations, then there will be chaos. It may be with a person, it may even be with a child. Child is expecting, you don't give the child what it is expecting, there will be chaos. But it is better for the child, it is better for you, it is better for everyone. And most importantly, with our own selves. Ravan is creating expectations. You don't give it, you don't serve those expectations. There is chaos. There is lot of heavy feelings of Ravan. But it is good for everyone. Those feelings are also temporary. It is good. Better than being a slave. It is better to be in a war and then win the war. So they would be empty-handed and think of themselves as kings. This is what Ravan does to our checking, empty-handed but thinks they are kings. So in the same way, those who have this intoxication also never consider themselves to be wrong. Ravan is using the mind, so Ravan is never wrong. According to who? According to who Ravan is never wrong?
Ravan.
Yeah. According to Ravan, Ravan is never wrong. According to Ram, Ravan is embodiment of everything that is wrong. So in the same way, those who have this intoxication also never consider themselves to be wrong. And this is inside. Wherever there is false identity, it is never wrong. It will never say I'm wrong. It will say I'm a victim. I'm not wrong, I'm a victim. So they would always either try to prove themselves right or would show carelessness. So this is victim. Yeah? Not wrong, but a victim. Victim will always prove itself right. It is not wrong, so it has to prove it is right. That is victim mind. And victim mind shows carelessness. So this happens all the time. It is always like this. This is why you have been told today. What have you been told today? What were you told today?
The main bondage is the bondage of the mind.
Yes. Yeah, correct. So main bondage is the bondage of the mind. This is all happening because of the bondage of the mind. There is victim, there is I'm never wrong, there is carelessness. Yeah. So this is the aim, to finish the bondage of the mind before anything. And it is not difficult. Ravan, Maya will say it is difficult. This is the last step. First, let me get this right. Let me get this food right and this right. But this is the first step actually for coming into confluence age. This is the first step to get the mind out of Ravan, because Ravan only uses the mind. It is like virus can exist, but virus needs a host, like a body to exist. So it is there. The virus can be in the atmosphere, but until it gets into your body, it cannot do. It cannot operate as a virus. Yeah. So Ravan can be. It can be Ravan's kingdom, but as long as you have taken your mind from Ravan, then it is not, Ravan cannot harm you. Ravan cannot create any harm inside. So first, the only thing that Ravan uses is thoughts. Through thoughts, every false identity is spread. It is through the mind, it is through the thoughts. And till the thoughts are not um, in thoughts, they are not, we have to keep keep coming into the light, keep coming into the region of light through the mind, those thoughts, playing with those thoughts. And then the intellect stays open. That if we are using thoughts that Ravan is creating to feed different heads of Ravan, then the intellect stays locked. And you're trying to take the jump, you're trying this, you're trying that, but is not working because the intellect is locked. So this is why you have been told just about the bondage of the mind. Baba will tell you about words and deeds at some other time. That is at some other time. Yeah. First thing is to get the first step right. To continue to attain liberation with spiritual power, to experience liberation in life at the confluence age, is to attain the future reward of liberation in life. You have to become liberated in life in the golden jubilee, do you not? Or do you just want to celebrate the golden jubilee? To become is to celebrate. People of the world simply celebrate, whereas here you become. Anybody who just celebrates doesn't become, but just celebrates New Year, celebrates Holi, but inner life, no change. Anyone? So that is like living the life like how, without knowledge, that is the life. So now you become ready quickly, or only then will everyone else be liberated through your liberation. Even scientists are in bondage to the facilities that they themselves have created. Even political leaders want to save themselves, but they are tired so much that they are unable to do something they think of. And so that is a bondage, is it not? So you who liberate everyone from different bondages are becoming liberated yourselves. And now you have to liberate everyone. Everyone is crying out and calling out for liberation, freedom. Some want liberation from poverty, some want liberation from their households, but the call for liberation from everyone is the same. It is at different levels, displaced at different levels. Freedom, somebody wants some different type of freedom, but everyone wants freedom. Everyone wants liberation. So now become bestowers of liberation and show them the path to liberation and give them the inheritance of liberation. Their call is reaching you, is it not? Or do you think that is the Father's work? What is it to me? Baba says you have to attain the reward. The Father does not want to attain it. You are the ones who want subjects and devotees. The Father does not want them. So those who are your devotees will automatically become the Fathers because you are the ones who will become the first devotees in the cooperage. You will begin worship. You will begin the worship of the Father first. So everyone will follow all of you now. So what do you have to do now? Listen to their call, become bestowers of liberation. So there is inner understanding. Baba has given understanding of inner spiral, what happens inside. If that doesn't motivate you enough, then there is also real world scenario. Yeah, but either ways, using this or that, but make the aim and the steps to become free from the mind, get the mind back from Ravan, reclaim the mind, that has to be taken extremely seriously, very, very seriously. Nothing else is important. Ravan's thoughts and not feeding Ravan, not feeding the Ravan inside and outside, but inside first. That is most important. Nothing else is serious. So, what are the thoughts? What are some of the thoughts coming in the mind? What is your action plan?
To check for the Ravan's golden deer and to see that how we stop that and then see that what the look of monster.
Checking is going on, but that reaction is so fast, so that after that we are able to understand ki, oh, Ravan has done his work.
Yeah, so that is checking, but checking is not the action plan. Checking is just if you have time, you check, but checking gives us a clear picture of where Ravan is and what sort of thoughts are feeding those heads of Ravan, and then to not to put a stop on those thoughts is the action plan. Checking thoughts is one thing, not repeating those thoughts is what brings the change.
To remove the subtle bondages of mind.
Yeah.
Keep,
I have to
keep
change the
yourself
thoughts. Mm.
keep yourself more and more busy in Ram thoughts, practices, creating environment and precaution from the other environment more and more. Only for important tasks you have to interact, and our side, our mukhra should be there, more interest with more interest and more enthusiasm.
Mm.
Whoever have done, like I was feeling that because he has done something mistake or because of that or something. So that time means change means to just think about him. Ki, okay, Ravan has entered in him, and that person has done influence of Ravan, and so that he is also my brother only who is there up with me with that 8.2 crores Atma Bhai. So means that thought, I think so. It will make means not to react for that time and be calm.
Yes, so 7 days program to starve the head of Ravan that harasses the Sita the most. Which heads are troubling you the most? Which are the heads that cause you the most discomfort? And not to create any thoughts in that direction. Which sort of thoughts, why this, why that? This is all feeding a specific head of Ravan that wants to get bigger. And so know why, know what, just stopping it each time for 7 days, it will create a very big shift. This is the real work. Real work is done by very few. Real work is to be liberated, and that is paid attention to by very, very few souls. That is always the case. So, yeah, This is the plan. 7 days. No, at least 2 or 3 heads. Biggest heads. Biggest. They create the maximum disturbance and no thoughts in that direction. No thinking about it. Even one thought of question, even one thought of some doubt, it will all be feeding Ravan. So instead, replacing it with different practices, different environment of light, some different approach to stay in light. So we will meet again soon. Thank you. Shanti.